Tonight, from Raymond James Stadium in Tampa, Florida, it's Thursday Night Football on EA Sports.
And we're about 5 miles northwest of downtown Tampa at beautiful Raymond James Stadium near Florida's Gulf Coast. Tonight we kick off Week 6 with a great Thursday night matchup between the Cleveland Browns and ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. And the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So here come the Browns for their first drive on offense. And they will be led out by their 6'3" quarterback.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win, and that's what they did last week. But there's also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Almost able to intercept it. That's one he would have liked to have held on to on his first drive. Instead, second down.
At the 23-yard line.
He'll try again with the arm here on second down. Able to find Higgins. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. Third play of this opening drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 3. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Got his target, Samuel. And he is going to have a Browns first down by a couple of yards as they're able to convert here on 3rd and 3.
That throw's not going to get them a whole lot, but that really didn't matter, did it? They got what they needed on that throw. Picked up the first down, and I'm going cliche here. Game of inches, partner.
Absolutely. And you talked to me a lot about opening drives, how key those are to set the tone. You kept the drive alive. Third down conversion here is big. They'll look to throw here on first down. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. 7 yards to pick up there. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. And here's a throw taken in by Boyd. And he'll go out of bounds. It appears right at the 45. 4 yards to pick up, first down.
First down, Cleveland.
Back to throw again. Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes.
The quarterback sack.
Well, these sacks are really piling up. Last week, it was a half dozen sacks. And here's one on the opening drive.
And it has the potential to be what we call a gap, a game-altering play. Because, let's face it, you just mentioned 6 sacks last week. Now, if you're an offense and you saw that on tape, you got to...
And the pressure gets to him again. Montez Sweat able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Well, this is what happens when you get behind the chains, as people like to say. When you have obvious passing situations, hard to vary it up and fool a defense.
And you hate those situations if you're an O-lineman, right?
Oh, without a doubt, because you just know they're coming, and you never know exactly how. They can be exotic in their blitzes, or their athletic ability just takes over.
The 7th play now of this opening drive. This is 3rd and long, though. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 44. And they will finally stop him, but a great return gets that football all the way down to the 16-yard line.
The Bucks take over 1st and 10.
So the Bucks now in great shape to begin their initial possession. And we get a glance here at their leader, the man who will be calling the plays under center.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win, and that's what they did last week. But there's also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. And they'll try to run the option here. And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage back at the 17. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
15-yard line.
That is caught at the 7-yard line. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. From 17 yards out. And the Bucs have taken a first quarter lead. Walking into the stadium, we saw a ton of people donning the jerseys of this rookie quarterback, so you know they love that opening drive, and he throws a touchdown pass.
He gave a little bit of confirmation about what they had hoped, right? Because they thought they had a quarterback. They're thinking they have a quarterback. You do this, they believe they've got a quarterback. Look up, elbowing each other up in the stands. That's our guy.
Extra point right down the middle, and it's now a 7-0 game. Now it's Novak on. He'll send this one away following the touchdown. This one taken just inside the 10. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27.
Take over first and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
Second drive coming up here for Cleveland as they return to the field on offense. They had the interception last time. It led to the opening touchdown. So now 7-0 the score as they start first and 10. They'll start with the option. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down.
On the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard. Brings up second and 11 at the 25-yard line.
Set up to throw. They'll set up the screen here to Mixon. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. Give him 5 on the screen play, and that'll set up a third down.
And it's third down.
Completes it to Samuel. And he is going to have a Browns first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. So he turned to a trusted, familiar face in that third down situation. It paid off.
Yeah, you go to your veteran receiver in that spot, so you can't underestimate him when he's on the field defensively. Make sure you know where he is because he understands how to get open in key situations.
And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. They'll lose a yard there, and it's second and 11.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
On second down, Mixon. And he's able to get across midfield and down into Buccaneer territory. It'll be a pickup of 5, and that leaves him with 5 more. Third and 5 now. He'll drop to throw. He's got his man, Boyd. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Tyler Boyd. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Browns are within an extra point of tying this thing up.
For a big tight end, he can sure move like a slot receiver when he gets a head of steam going. And as a defensive back, you've got a big decision to make when he's moving like that.
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24.
At their own 24-yard line.
Tampa Bay, they're getting ready to set up shop here for their second drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Here's a run on first down that won't even get back to the line of scrimmage. He will lose a yard. Second and 11.
When coaches stress their defense being physical, they don't just mean the big guys. How about the guys on the outside, the cornerbacks? It's not just their job to patrol the airspace. They can get involved in the run game as well.
Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. That's caught inside the 20. And he takes this way down deep into Cleveland territory.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Now a handoff looking right. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. A great effort there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Bucks have taken the lead.
I can't help it, partner. I love backs who have a lot of burst.
Yeah, they ran the toss play. By the way, sometimes you'll hear toss and pitch used interchangeably, but that was the toss.
Well, for me, a toss, quarterback takes the snap, turns around, tosses it to
like
the
an egg underhand.
Yeah, like an egg underhand, really with 2 hands. And a pitch, usually like you're running an option-type play, and you pitch it out there to the trailing back.
Goes end over end like a field goal.
Yeah, where you turn it over, make sure that thumb turns down, and the ball flips end over end slowly and delicately to your running back.
From the 6. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 27.
Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well. Put the pressure. The Browns drive about to get started. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
On the carry.
The numbers for Mixon last week, 20 carries, 114 yards.
And now that he's playing a Thursday night game, short week, you know he spent a lot of time in the trainer's room in the cold tub trying to get his legs back for this game.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. The start of the second quarter, and it's the Browns in control of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. They'll run with Mixon. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And he gets this down deep into Tampa Bay territory.
When teams practice their plays during the week, they're hoping that it's going to pay off on game day. So it sure has to feel good for them when they hit them during a game, and they hit that one there for big yardage.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now Mixon. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. There's no gain on the play there. 2nd down. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10.
The 11-yard line.
On the delay, it's Mixon. And he's able to break out of 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
The Browns on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. And he's going to be taken down, sacked back around the 18-yard line. Montez Sweat in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. And his kick is right there. It's good. And that will cut the lead back down to 3 at 13 to 10.
Browns 10.
So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
At their own 26-yard line.
So here are the Bucks to take over on offense. They're working on a 4-game winning streak, and they lead this one as well right now as they start 1st and 10. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Partner, one thing I was lousy at growing up, track and field, I could never anticipate the start before a race, but how about that backer? He figured it out, jumped the count, and turned it into a really nice play.
And this is caught at the 20. And he takes this way down, deep into Cleveland territory. A big play that time for Tampa Bay. 59 yards.
Well, partner, that's how you make a long drive suddenly not so long anymore. One big play, and they're already in field goal range with designs on getting more than that.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a 1st down in the red zone. Going to give this time to the tailback. And he'll be stopped after a gain of only a couple down to the 15-yard line. They had the huge play last time. Here it is a much smaller gain of 2.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Now they try the right side here. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. And still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to 3rd down.
The passing game's been working quite well so far, but the running game's been a little bit of a struggle, and that's a surprise to me. Typically, when you can throw it, you've opened up lanes for your runners.
He's able to pick up the first before he's brought down inside the 5 at the 4. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they've got it 1st and goal.
When you're dead last in the NFL in 3rd down conversions, the odds are against you every time you face it. How about him picking up that one? That was big for them.
2 minutes remaining in this 1st half of football. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our 1st half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. No gain there on the completion. It'll be 2nd down. And if you're going to pass down here, you better get that in the end zone.
I agree with you totally. And as we both know, the field's already condensed. There's just not a lot of space. So you've got to create some by getting some people downfield into the end zone. If you want to throw it short, you've got to have some movement, some room in order to do that. That one didn't work.
And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. A great play there with his 2nd touchdown here in this 1st half as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead. So simple math here in the 1st half. They've had 3 drives offensively, and they have scored every time, and they've got the lead.
Well, whenever we talk about adjustments, we usually talk about an offense making adjustments, right? This is all about the defense. They've got to figure out some way, somehow to slow them down. Do they blitz a little bit more? Do they play more zone coverage? Right now, they don't know where to go because they're hitting them in every direction.
Now it's Novak on. He'll send this one away following the touchdown. Fields it in the middle of the end zone. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
Ready to take over again on offense. Out comes Cleveland. And a 1st half that really has not been kind to them. A late opportunity here to maybe make some inroads on this deficit before half.
And this drive's going to go a long way towards telling us whether they actually have a chance to come all the way back in this game or not.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. Points the target, and he has it over the middle. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. First play of the drive, a success. 19 yards. And down he goes. A Buccaneer sack. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. They'll look to throw. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. On 3rd down, Mixon. It's a pickup of 6, but it's not going to be enough. And the punt team's going to be summoned on 4th down. Now the Bucks going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. The Browns send out their punter now as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Now the Buccaneer offense gets set to take over. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops, and if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
Different pass rushes are designed for different things. Sometimes you want to keep the quarterback in the pocket. Sometimes you want him to flush. I don't know exactly how this one was designed, but they made sure they moved him to his right. He got out of the pocket. Unfortunately for him, he was hit as he tried to throw the ball, and that resulted in an incompletion.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. And he fends him off. But now he's swallowed up and taken down. The Bucks going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. It looks like a nickel set now for the Browns on 3rd down. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down.
Incomplete. It's 4th down.
And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it. They'll try and throw for it here. Going for Metcalf on the deep. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he takes it all the way down to the 44-yard line. So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game. And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. The Bucks with the lead, and they'll get the football first as the second half is underway. That'll be taken about a yard deep. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down officially at the 21-yard line. Out come the Buccaneers. They'll have it first to start in the 3rd quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off.
It got his man complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. The second quarter starts off with a bang as they snag over 30 yards. Well, you had all halftime to think about what you wanted to do to start the second half. They came out with a big one.
Does that not beg the question? What was happening in the other locker room at halftime? Was that the one play they didn't cover as a possibility? Because they just gave up a big, big gain.
Back to throw now on first down. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. On play action, they'll throw. This one into the hands of Metcalf. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 25-yard line. A good pickup there, a 22.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down.
And he hauls it in for the Buccaneer touchdown. 25 yards for the touchdown. And the Bucks are going to add on to their lead. A nice throw there by the second-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to a second and sometimes third progression. That was a nice play.
Now the Bucks offense will stay out there as they'll go for 2. The quarterback will keep it himself. And he will get into the end zone to bump the lead up to 3 scores. So they go with the pass, and it works there on the 2-point try. Charles, just in general, what are your thoughts passing versus running on 2-point conversion? Situational?
It is situational. You have to know your team. What is your strength? Because so many people think you have to throw the ball in a 2-point conversion, but the stats will tell you that running it is about as proficient. So know your team and go to your strength.
Now it's Novak on. He'll send this one away following the touchdown. And this carries into the end zone. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25.
25-yard line.
Here's the Browns now. They get set for their first possession of the third quarter. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Call it a pickup of 7, and it'll make it 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards.
Brandon, a lot of times you'll see running backs rotate in and out of the game, whether it's completed pass, a good run, it doesn't matter. Here, not only does he stay in, but they go right back to him, and he makes another nice play. Back-to-back catches.
Open man is Samuel, complete. A gain of 6 there on first. That catch for his career is number 589, so 11 away from 600, but it also right now ties him with Hall of Famer Fred Biletnikoff.
And we remember Fred Biletnikoff well because of the way he went about his business in catching the football. And we're seeing something similar here. Someone who runs precise routes, has excellent hands, and knows how to get the ball to the end zone.
It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and that'll make it 3rd down.
And it's 3rd down.
Again, he'll drop to throw. He'll drop this one down to mix it. And he is going to have a Browns first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. That's good for a Cleveland first down, an 11-yard pickup. They'll look to throw again. And that incompletion breaks a string of 5 straight connections. And it's 2nd down.
Incomplete. It's now 2nd and 10.
And his first carry, he loses the football. And the Buccaneers have it.
And fumble on the play. Recovered.
Well, he's not the starter coming in, getting his first carry off the bench. That's not the way to earn more carries.
You have to stay in the game, even if you're not on the field, right? Stay mentally sharp, stay ready, and above all, when you get into the game, hold on to the football. Don't let the other team have it.
And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Hit as he throws there, incomplete.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
Well, thanks for joining us here on a Thursday night in the NFL. Third quarter, 2nd and 10 coming up. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked up by Jesse Bates. And he'll take it across midfield and down to the 48-yard line. They've got a pretty comfortable lead right now, but maybe a little too careless with the football that time for the rookie.
I think the key word there is comfortable. And there's two schools of thought on it. With that type of a lead, maybe you can take a few more chances.
Mixon hit, and the ball is out. And it's picked up by the Buccaneers. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line.
A fumble on the play.
Whenever I see a team turn it over on back-to-back drives, fumbles on their last two, I know one person's blood pressure who is starting to rise, and that's the head coach.
Absolutely. And when's it going to go down? When they stop fumbling?
When they stop fumbling and after he's assessed the game film, and only if they manage to win the game.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee.
Man, they got to let it play.
Well, you won't hear any boos from this home crowd on that call.
No, not at all. And it's been a long day for this crowd waiting for this game. It's been a long evening as well. Finally, they feel they got a call.
The best starting field position you could possibly have. 1st and goal from the 1. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. From a yard out. And the Bucks capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. Now for the point after. And they open the lead up now to 25 points. A nice, tidy little drive there, getting the ball in excellent field position, and only one play to score it. Now it's Novak on. He'll send this one away following the touchdown. Takes this about 5 yards deep. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, had pushed it past the 50-yard line so they felt like they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here?
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
Well, that was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? 2nd and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the 1st down, and that's exactly what he did.
And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. A gain of 3, second down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
And again, the ball carrier.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
On third down, Mixon. He will have the first down as he's brought down up near midfield. A third down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
I haven't met a football team yet that runs the ball successfully that doesn't talk about having an attitude to be a running football team, right? You got to be able to put your nose in there, smell where the first down sticks are, and get there.
7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
Back now in Tampa. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. That's taken in by Higgins. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. That's good for a Cleveland first down, an 11-yard pickup.
11 on the play. And the Browns first down.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down. T. Higgins was the intended target. And it's second down.
24-yard line.
Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Buccaneers defense holds and they get the football back. Well, that's another mistake there on the drop pass on 4th, and we've seen him do things like this all game.
It's not hard to figure out why they're down by that deficit. They haven't made plays that are going to keep them in the game or win the game all game long. That's another example right there. It all boils down at the end of it to execution. Either you make the play or you don't.
At the 21-yard line.
He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration, not a good play.
So now factoring in the face mask, here's 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Got a man over the middle. It's Williams. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
Eluding the pressure right. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. 17 more yards. They had 17 on the previous snap as well. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism. They created some nice space for him.
2nd and 6. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. An 11-yard touchdown. And this Buccaneer offense is running away with this one. He has really settled in throwing the football, and that touchdown here in the 4th quarter gives him a pretty comfortable cushion.
He may be a rookie, but he's playing like 4th quarter, and the QBing is easy. How about this guy? Youngster, not worried about anything, just cutting it loose and having fun.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that will extend this big lead. Now it's Novak on. He'll send this one away following the touchdown. This one taken just inside the 10. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26.
6-yard line.
The Browns offense heading back out to take possession. And just looking ahead, it would appear that that bye week is coming at the right time. They'll have 2 weeks to chew on this one, though probably not one that they want to chew on. A poor performance from start to finish. Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there.
Mix it.
One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You tackle them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. The Browns on 3rd down. 5 out of 9 thus far. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches. Got his target, Samuel. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30.
Complete to Curtis Samuel.
At this stage, there's nothing left to do but to keep firing. And if you're a play caller, you may go off your sheet and use some things maybe you hadn't planned to in this game. Maybe that was one of them there that worked.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this 2nd half. Here's 1st and 10. Back to throw again. He gets this in the hands of Mixon. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 11. There he goes, right side. And he is not quite going to make it all the way in. They'll mark him down right about the 1 yard line. The utter domination here just continues. This defense, I don't know what more we can say all around about their performance.
Well, it certainly feels in this game like maybe they're facing a Canadian defense. 12 guys on the field. It feels like there's an extra on every snap because they have really struggled to make headway through the air.
The best starting field position you could possibly have. 1st and goal from the 1. They'll try to run this one in. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal.
That didn't just feel like good defense there. That felt like pride, didn't it? He's already gotten into the end zone twice, trying to get there for a 3rd time. No one likes to have the hat trick against them.
That one looks like he'll throw here to the end zone, but it's incomplete.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss him? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, Incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
4th down now after a loss of 2.
Looked like they felt like there was just way too much traffic, so instead of trying to run through the pile on 3rd and goal, they tried to take it outside. But how about that pursuit by the defense? Way too much for them, and they held him up short of the line of scrimmage and the goal line.
And oh, it'll be intercepted. Picked off by DJ Reed.
The pass. Intercepted.
CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape, he's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Dumps it off to Mixon. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts, as he'll stop it with 27 seconds showing on the clock. 2nd and 4. And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. He's going to let it fly. And that will be incomplete, as time has run out on this football game.
Buccaneers 42.
A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory, and the defensive guys, they're just saying